City Hall to support someone that has always, and we believe will continue to support New York City police officers. He understands the importance of policing to safety on the streets, to the economic future of the city, not only because he has an understanding of what we do from constantly communicating with us, but also from many of the constituents who are public servants that live in his district. This, quite frankly, is an endorsement that's obvious. Because when many others in recent history were running away from New York City police officers and blaming us for the woes that go on in this city on a regular basis, Eric understood and stayed, remained, and as always stood with New York City police officers. So on behalf of the New York City PBA, who represents retired and active New York City police officers, we're here to not give this support, to not give this endorsement, because it was earned by your steadfast support over the years, and we look forward to coming into this building and having someone that understands what's needed, and more importantly that will continue to fight for it. It's not only the New York City PBA, which represents New York City police officers here, but it's the entirety of the law enforcement in New York City. So it's my pleasure now to pass it to the first Vice President, Paulie DiGiacomo, of the Detectives Endowment Association. Paulie?
Eric, on behalf of the active and retired New York City detectives, we're proud to stand here today and endorse you. It's quite refreshing to stand with a city council person who has a passion and commitment to the men and women who put their lives on the line every day. And we are proud to endorse you. Very refreshing to have someone who finally, here in the city council, supports the police. And we're very happy to support you. It's my pleasure now to introduce the Vice President of the Lieutenants Benevolent Association, Steve Bubbick.
On behalf of the retired and active New York City police lieutenants, I'm proud to stand here and endorse Eric, who has been a friend of the police department for many years. And we do need as many friends as we can in the City Council to go forward and to keep the city as safe as it has been for the past 2 decades. Thank you.
And now representing the Captains Endowment Association, Roy Richter, their president.
Thank you. So we've had some tough times, and we've had some great times in the city of New York over the last couple of decades. The great times was as a result of the hard work of our New York City police officers. The economy is booming. Why? Because crime is at all-time record lows. But unfortunately, there's some people that have meant to attack the New York City Police Department. And when we were in trouble, one of the people that we called is Councilman Eric Ulrich, and he came to our defense. And I'm very happy to be here to support somebody that not just supports the men and women of the New York City Police Department, but also came to the defense in times of emergency. Those same men and women who live in Rockaway, in Bell Harbor, Breezy Point, and Howard Beach sections of New York City when they lost their houses, their homes were destroyed with Hurricane Sandy. So on behalf of all the active and retired members of the Captains Endowment Association, me as their president, I'm happy to endorse Eric Ulrich for election. Re-election. Re-election. New York City Council.
And thank you, all of you. It means so much to me to have the endorsement of the law enforcement family. And really it is a family, whether you're a detective, a sergeant, a lieutenant, a captain, a beat cop, a patrol officer. It is a family of men and women who have driven crime to historic lows in this city, restored people's faith in New York again. It made people believe in a city that they could live in, that they could do business, they can raise their family, that tourists can come here and visit, that we can create jobs and revitalize our communities, and also, of course, make sure that young people can afford to stay in New York City. And that's really what these unions represent. But more importantly, this is a very tumultuous time for many police officers. They face uncertainty about what will happen in the future. There will be a new mayor coming in. There'll be new members of the city council that will be elected. Now, hopefully not my district, but the point is that they want to know that somebody has their back. And I have been a staunch advocate for the men and women of the NYPD. I was not one of the people that stood inside of this building and attacked them. Matter of fact, I stood up and I thanked them for a job well done. They have made New York the safest big city in America, and we owe them a debt of gratitude. And so to have these endorsements today means a lot for me personally, but it also says a lot about my constituents and the people that I represent. They appreciate the hard work that the men and women of the NYPD do each and every day. They appreciate the fact that New York City is a safer place to live today, and it's because of the great work of the men and women of the NYPD. And so I appreciate this endorsement. I am honored to have it, and I look forward to a resounding victory. There are lots of members, retired and active, that live in my district, in the Rockaways, in Howard Beach, in Ozone Park, in Richmond Hill, in Woodhaven, and every corner of the 32nd Council District, and I know that they will be there for me on Election Day. Thank you very much. Thank you.